Ever get the feeling that you're being watched? That your every movement is being followed by some unknown observer? In a cosmological sense, it's an ongoing debate, and as we wrestle with ideas on alien life and the infinite nature of the universe, it can feel like there must be other eyes trained on us and Earth from somewhere. This is Unveiled, and today we're taking a closer look at the mysterious blue blobs discovered hovering over Earth. Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking content. All of us know what it feels like to look up into the sky, but only a select few have ever looked down into it. To do that, you have to travel beyond Earth's atmosphere and out into space. Astronauts and space tourists often speak of a profound sense of understanding felt when looking back at Earth from their ship or space station. To see the oceans and continents from so far away, so that all the towns, cities, lives, and stories that they hold are captured together, many call it a life-changing experience. Modern humans have walked Earth for 300,000 years or so, but it's only in the last few decades that we've really been able to grasp this. And thanks to our ever-growing databases full of images and videos taken from space, the far-out view is at least accessible for all of us, even if most of us have never witnessed it firsthand. But amongst those databases, within our now never-ending stream of space visuals, there's every so often an image or a moment that stands out as something particularly strange. One of the most famous shows the Black Knight satellite, a grainy, distorted, probable space blanket, possible alien spy ship that we take a closer look at in another video. But a more recent NASA image has gotten theories flying once again. Mysterious blue blobs, 2 of them hovering over our planet. So, what's the story here? Might we finally have uncovered our watching alien overlords? Or could science provide another, more grounded explanation? The image in question was actually captured on October 30th, 2021. The day before Halloween. But that's really where the spookiness stops, at least according to NASA. NASA's Earth Observatory then re-released the image almost a year later, in October 2022. The blue blobs, seen at the center bottom and top right, were discovered as the International Space Station soared over Southeast Asia under cover of darkness local time. In with all the expected artificial lighting that's beaming out from cities lining the coastlines of Thailand and Vietnam, these spectacular blues certainly look bizarre and out of place. Quickly, questions were asked about whether they could represent something not of Earth at all. But equally quickly, NASA sought to quash all suggestions of alien activity. What we're really seeing in this image, according to the Earth Observatory, is 2 separate phenomena appearing at the same time. The blue blur top right is perhaps the more inconspicuous of the 2, but actually, it's something pretty major: the moon. It's blue light scattering from the moon, blurring the light source from the point of view of the ISS due to chance positioning of the 2. And actually, it's not unusual at all, but an expected way in which the moon might reveal itself to those on board, depending on where it is in comparison to where they are. The comparative explosion of blue at center bottom is, however, a much rarer sight in itself. NASA explains that what we're actually seeing is a massive lightning strike flashing over the Gulf of Thailand. Yes, it looks like it could be the opening of some kind of sci-fi portal, ready to rain down an alien anarchy from above. But really, it's just a flash of electricity. Of course, lightning strikes happen all the time, all over the planet, but they're usually not so visible. This one is because it breaks through a serendipitous gap in the clouds. On the ground or on the water, it will have shown itself as a major thunderbolt from above. But from the vantage point of space, it's more like a deep blue glitch. Naturally, when NASA republished the image after seemingly sitting on it for almost a year, there were some alternate theories thrown up. Pair the two blue blobs with two more brighter than average spots in the image in the center and at the top of the Earth's curvature, and some have suggested that there's more to this story. NASA says that at least one of the other two spots is a fishing fleet, but still, the idea of an alien presence hangs on. Ultimately, though, NASA's summary of the image does make sense. The moon is where it should be, and doing what it would be expected to do, and the lightning strike explanation checks out, even if it is bizarrely fortuitous that both blobs should appear at the same time. But what's your verdict here? Still unconvinced? Still wondering whether something else could be afoot? Of course, as with almost all NASA or government explanations since about the 1940s, there is some precedent to doubt the official line. Roswell was a flying disc, then it was a water balloon, then it was a nuclear spy machine, for example. The Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program never existed until it was revealed that actually it did exist and had investigated some clearly unusual stuff. If cameras on board the ISS ever were to snap an alien presence, then there are two main questions to consider. Would we recognize it? And if we did, would that knowledge ever be revealed to the wider public? We know the answer to the first is not necessarily. The humanizing of aliens and UFOs might work well for science fiction, but in reality, there's little reason to believe that an alien phenomena would make any sort of sense to our eyes. Flashing bursts of blue light may well seem out of place, but they're not that out of place. And surely a watching alien force, having traveled all this way to be here, would want to cover their tracks better than that. So the counter theory goes. The answer to the second question, though, is where the conspiracy theory lies. The most often cited idea is that global powers with alien knowledge would want to hide that knowledge from the masses to avoid mass panic. And no matter how many social experiments or real-life events suggest otherwise, such as the actual calm response following an accidental nuclear alarm in Hawaii in 2018, we've never really shrugged off this feeling that an alien arrival would bring out all the worst in us. Beyond that, however, there's the idea that what really guides our global powers is the preservation of their power. A genuine alien presence would instantly level the playing field here on Earth. With all of us below the watching alien eye, there'd be little need for the rule of government, the sway of authority groups including national security, nor perhaps even the guiding voice of God for religious followers. From the White House to the Vatican, from Silicon Valley to the monarchies of old Europe, their decades, centuries, sometimes even millennia of power and influence may well have been toppled forever, and the new direction for life on Earth would roll out before us. So, is that what's really happening here? Is that the true context behind these mysterious blue blobs? Ultimately, and although it's perhaps much less exciting than all of the above, no, it's not. This NASA image isn't hiding anything so extreme. In this case, we're not being watched. And what we're really seeing is the moon and a massive lightning strike, briefly sharing the stage as seen from space. Still, there's a mesmeric beauty as well in just that, don't you think? What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from Unveiled, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.